what is the difference between Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects. Basically, Adobe Premiere Pro is video editing and Adobe After Effects is the special effects. So the work done by Premiere Pro is basically the commercials you see, the documentary, the movie trailer, and the YouTube videos. And Premiere Pro also deals with cuts, transitions, color correction, and color audio. While After Effects is motion graphics, like sometimes you must have seen 3D logo spinning. That is also After Effects, and some complex transitions. That is After Effects. So After Effects is basically the hardcore stuff, and Premiere Pro is normal cuts, transitions, color correction, and audio to deal with audio. So when you open the Premiere Pro software, go to new project on the screen, then you will see a screen like this. Type whatever the name you want, intro to Premiere Pro. And after giving it a name, you can select the memory location where you want to save. By default, it's the Adobe Premiere autosave, but you can save wherever you want. And don't look at the scary stuff. It's not needed now. And then click on OK. First, this is the basic workspace. And you can see that there's a learning tab, assembly, editing, and I'll explain all of these. This is this blue screen, blue outline screen you see. Here is where you import all your media stuff. So I'll import all the stuff that I want to. With Command I, Command I is the shortcut, or you can go to File, Import, and then Import. So this is all the videos that is available in that resources link. You can download these two and work along. And if your layout doesn't look like this, you can just go to Works window and then go to Workspace. Select editing if it's not already selected, and then go to Workspace and reset to saved layouts. And then boom, your layout will be resetted to the default settings of Adobe. Now I'll introduce, this is the timeline. And whenever you work on the project, the time video and all the clips are imported here when during the project. And this is the program screen where you see what the audience will be seeing. And this is the source and effect controls panel, effects for the videos. So basically, you can just drag this on the timeline and it will auto import. This is the Indian flag. So today is 15th August. So we'll be working on the video, which is based on independence. So if your ratio is not 1920 is to 1080, you can just go to sequence settings, and then select the frame size. The recommended is 1920 horizontal and 1080 vertical, and then click enter. So it will resize accordingly. So now I'll import, this is the first video. It's named the clip 1, keep existing settings. So when we deal with this stuff, this will be our first clip. So first we'll start by introducing some text. Here you can see there's a type tool, and just click on it and click on the screen wherever you want to introduce the text. So you can see this red text box. You can type whatever you want, and then this is the selection tool. Whatever you select on this, on the timeline or on the import window, you can select with the selection tool, and this is the result tool you see. You can select this with the C shortcut, and this will be the most used in your project. So basically this is the timeline, and your whole project is extended till the last part of your last audio or video. Suppose I shorten this video to say 11 seconds and 31 milliseconds. So your project will be of this length only. After that, your project will auto end. But if I extend it, it will extend the project. So I'm just gonna import this video and then I'll play it here.
तलवारों पे सरवार दिए, अंगारों में जिस्म जलाया है, अब जाके कहीं हमने सर पे ये केसरी रंग सजाया है। ऐ मेरी ज़मीं अफसोस नहीं, जो तेरे लिए 100 दर्द सहे, महफूज रहे तेरी आन सदा, चाहे जान मेरी ये रहे ना रहे।
Yeah, so this is the video. Now I'm gonna explain to you what I'll teach you during these clips. So during this clip, I'll teach you about text and keyframes. And in this, I'll teach you about editing effects and how to overlay stuff in Premiere Pro. In this also, I'll teach you about the keyframes and how to do transition between one point to another. During this clip, I'll teach you about the color correction and color grading and the difference between them. Same for this clip. And this clips also deal with the color correction and overlay stuff. And during these two clips, I'll teach you a special effect called speed ramping. Yeah, and that will be it for the effects. So first, we'll introduce the audio. So there are two views in the import window, the list view and the icon view. I usually keep my project in the icon view, but you can do whatever you want. This is the list view and this is the icon view. Now I'll import my audio into the project. So you can see now it's audible. So yeah, for the first few seconds, we'll have this independence text. And now I'll tell you about the keyframes and how to in and out, how to do the transitions of the text. Suppose, yeah. So this is the effects control window. And with this, this is the timestamp toggle animation. If you click this, you can do the keyframes effect. So basically, what are keyframes? Keyframes are the feature that allow you to change the properties of an effect or a transition over time. Like this means you can change how fast or slow an effect or transition occurs, and you can also change when and where in the clip it starts or ends. So suppose I click on this independence and I want this to move from left to right, from here to here as the clip transitions. So for that, I'll just drag this to 0, click on position, and you see this. This is the x-axis coordinate. This is the y-axis coordinate. This is the scale, how big the image looks. So by if I want to move this to left, I'll just change the x coordinate to leftmost, like till the text is out of screen. And when I want this text to be completely here, I'll just drag the timestamp to there and click on this small dot you can see. Click on it and drag the text to wherever you want. Like suppose I want this on the upper right side of the screen. So when I move this to 0 and then play again, now see the screen. The text transitions over the screen. And suppose now I want to change the scale. Then I click on this toggle animation bar. And suppose the scale is 100%. Now I want it here it to be of 120% size, suppose. You can just drag this like 107%. So when I play from 0 again, it will transition for both position and scale accordingly as I told it to be. Though the size increase is not evident, but for the example I showed it to you. I'll just delete it. Yeah, so this is for you explaining the keyframes. But I want this text to fade in and fade out. So I have to play with the opacity of the text. So this is the opacity. And to do the keyframe animation of the text, I'll click on the toggle animation bar of opacity. At 0, I want it to be of 0 opacity. So as to fade in. Like suppose we move it to now 47 milliseconds or like 1 second, suppose. Now I want it to be 100% opacity. So I click on this add remove keyframe and I'll increase the opacity to 100%. Same I'll do for the fade out. Somewhere near the end, not exactly at the end, before the text ends, I click on the opacity to mark 100. And then the end of the text to mark the opacity as 0. Now it will fade in and fade out. Yeah. So now we want to introduce another text somewhere near here. So if you want to improve the text now, you can just go to window and then workspace, or you can go to the effects and change the text here from fonts. Here I want to type VAC. Suppose now I want to change the font. So go to source text in the effects control panel and choose whatever font you want. I usually use Trajan Pro 3. It looks great, it looks cinematic, so that's why. Now close this source text panel. Now we want this to fade in and fade out too. So we use the same concept we used in the previous text, fade in and fade out. Use the keyframes. Go to the start of the text, clip, click on opacity key timestamp, click on the add and remove keyframe, move it to 0. Then after a few seconds, click on add and remove keyframe, increase it to 100. And then for the fade out, do the same as we did before. Decrease the opacity to 0. So now if you see from the start of the project, I'll play from. So now this lyric Talwaro Pe, I'll use a special effect called matte key, like I imported in this video, in which there will be a moving image through the text. So for that, you can cut the clip here after this text ends, and then use the selection tool, go to effects panel, type matte, and then you see this track matte key under keying effect. Hold it and drag it on your clip which you want to put it on. Now suppose I want to type introduction Pro to Premiere Pro. I'll change the text to something bold. I'll increase the size. Now click on clip 1. Go to effects control and scroll down under track matte key. You will see an option, matte option none. Click on the drop down and choose video 2. Now the effects is done. Track matte key is an effect that suppose you want to put layer on another layer and you want to see through it. It's basically an effect that movie makers use to do a see-through text like this one. Yeah. Here I turn this off. This little FX at the side of track matte will turn the effect off. So this is what it was earlier looking like. When I turn the effect back on, it looks like this. So the opaque thing on this layer becomes transparent and the transparent becomes black. This was what track matte does under video 2 option. Now you saw the little flame thing around here in the preview. So we'll try to put that. Yeah, I'll introduce this clip. So for now, the text is not visible because we dragged the clip above that text. So like this project panel is like a stack. It is stacked on top of each other. So if I drag an opaque clip over the previous clip, so that previous clip will not be visible. So there's an audio with this effect. So if I want to remove that, I'll right click on this and there will be an option of unlink. Click on that. Now the audio and the video are unlinked. Now you can delete it. Otherwise, if you would just delete it then both the video and audio will get deleted. So now this effect is basically too long. We want this, we don't want this long. So we'll take the razor tool, cut it at this end, and delete the rest of the part. So we previously saw that the effect will be visible from the left hand side of the window. So what we do, we click on the clip 2, and there's a under effects control, there's a rotation option. We type 90 there, 90, and then move the position to the left hand side. But we still see that there's some distinguishing between the background and this thing. So what we do the blend mode. We try to change it. We play with it to see which blend mode works best. Move this to difference, and now it works better. Like there's a smooth transition between, like there's a fading thing, but it's still visible. So what we'll do is we'll mask this. You know, this is visible. So we'll mask the rest of the part. So by masking, I mean cut the extra part of the flame clip. We move the screen to the 25% view ratio. Under the opacity, there's a free draw Bezier pen tool. We'll draw around and then reduce the mask, improve the mask feather, and collectively we'll decrease the opacity to around 80%. Now after this is done, we'll go to fit screen and then play and see if it works. Yeah, it works. Yeah, after this we'll keep a black part, and then we'll use the fire clip. We'll import it. Now as we don't need this audio, we'll do the same thing. We'll right click, move down to unlink, select the audio, and then delete it. So here we want to do a transition. So in that, the last frame we want to be a darker frame, almost black. So in this we'll use keyframes too. What we'll basically do is on this lyric, अंगारों में जिस्म जलाया है. On this we'll focus on fire. So in the effects control window, I'll move the timestamp clamp to 0 and click on the toggle animation of position and scale. Scale is to focus on fire, to zoom on it, and position is to change the position at the 0th time second of this clip. We want to focus it on fire, and around this part we want to move it out of frame. So we'll move the timestamp to this required time. Click on add and remove keyframes and then increase the scale and then try to find a dark part in the video. This. So this is the part which is dark and you can see it. So I'll zoom on it, fill the whole screen with that part. So now we'll try to play and see if it works. So here we can see that for some time it focuses out of fire and we see nothing. So we try to introduce another keyframe in between so as to not lose focus on fire. We do the same thing, add and remove keyframes on both position and scale. Adjust the position so it focuses on fire. The scale is somewhat correct. And now we see. Yeah. So you can see now as the screen is black, we are ready for a transition. Transition to the next clip. So here is the time frame. We don't need the clip after that. So we take the razor tool, cut the clip here and delete the part after that. Click on delete button and yeah, it's done. Yeah, so now we import the another clip in which we can see the Taj Mahal. So the reason why I chose this clip, in this clip, the transition fades out to a darker part, which is completely black. And in this clip, I'm going to use the keyframe transition to transit into the Taj Mahal screen. Like the first screen is not like that, but we'll use keyframes to create that. So first I'll remove the audio part. I'll right click, click on unlink, use audio and then delete. Now we click on the clip 4. And then go to effects control. So now in the transition, we need a smooth transition. For that, we'll use this clip. We'll move this clip to the right side of the screen. So I'll show you. Maybe you can't imagine that. I'll click on toggle animation of position. And now drag the clip to the right, so that it's completely blank at first. And then move a few frames ahead. Click on this. And move the clip to some points left. So as you can see, it transitions like this. We can see here it's a bit fast. So as to slow, we'll take the second keyframe. As we don't want it to occur at an earlier time, we'll drag it to the right, a further away point in the time. Now let's see the transition. Now you can see it's a bit smoother. Now during the middle part of the second clip, I want the clip to be at the default frame. So for that, I'll click on adjust and remove keyframe at some time after the second keyframe is put, and then I'll click on the reset parameter here, and then it'll reset like this. So now let's see the transition if it's smooth or not. It's a bit fast too, so we'll use it and put it further away. We'll yeah. So as we further down this clip, we'll see that a lady appears. Now we'll this lady's shadow to transition into next clip around this part using that black screen transition again. So for this, I'll just put another keyframe here on this and also on the scale because I have to zoom on this face. And on the previous keyframe, I'll also put a scale. On both of this part, I'll just adjust the screen to the lady's face. I have to zoom it here a bit and try to play with the settings for a smooth transition. So now here we see we faded out into the lady's face. And after this part, a few frames ahead, we can see there's a visible part of the gate. So after that, here, when the screen is completely black, I'll just cut the clip 4. So now we'll see the collective clip 3 and clip 4. Wait, we have to put it a little behind. For that, we have to zoom a bit. We'll cut it around here and we'll delete the rest as we did in other clips. Yeah, so this transition works now better. Yeah. After that, we'll just introduce that Indian flag clip 5. So there's another way we can remove the audio and import only just the video. Go to the editing panel, click on it, and there will be another source window. Whichever clip you want to drag on the timeline, first drag it there first, and then there you'll see this clip you want to drag, and there will be an drag video only option, this one. Click on it, hold it, and then drag the video. We'll go back to the effects panel. So as we can see here now, the transition is suddenly. So to do a black transition, we'll go to video effects under the effects panel. Video transitions. We'll go to dissolve option under video transitions. And there will be an option dip to black. There will be a black screen transition between the clips. Now I'll play it and see if it works. Yeah. Yeah, it's better. So on this clip, I'll teach you about the color grading and color effects. So go to on the color panel, adjust the workspace as you like. So there's a lot of confusion between what is color grading and what is color correction. So color correction is basically correcting the colors. Something that you see with eye and something that camera captures is not always same always. So color correction deals with that, and color grading is making the film look better, the more cinematic. Like you must have seen in some Christopher Nolan movies, the screen and the movie looks are a bit different, bluish or reddish or orange teal look that you can say. That is because of color grading. So color correction is like fixing photos and videos. Like if there's grains or a bit more shadows and the video is more bright, that is color correction. And color grading is like adding specific colors and monochromizing the clip and or giving it a retro look. So there are three basic things you have to know. The basic terms used: HSL. The full form is hue, saturation, and luma. Hue is the name given to colors. Like I'll show you here if it's possible. Yeah, here you can see hue versus saturation curve. This is hue. Basically, hue consists of all the colors. Saturation is the intensity of the color, the intensity of the hue. So, for example, I use this hue versus saturation curve and click on red. This change, the y-axis is the intensity of red, as you can see. The lowermost part is white and the uppermost is red. And the third is L, luma, the brightness of the hue. How bright is the color? So first I'll explain you the scopes. So this is the scope panel, and this is the blacks RGB. In scopes panel, the lower darker part consists of blacks, the black part. This control the black part. Suppose in the lumetri color panel, I change the blacks of the clip. As you can see in this part, the waveform changes of the black part, 0 to 30 approx. And between 30 and 50 is affected by the shadow, which control the shadow of the image around that part. And between 50 to 80 is given to highlights, the highlights of the image. As you can see, the majority part of this Indian flag image is bright. So the majority part is above 50. The darker part is in the highlights. And the white is the brightest part in the image. This or this white colors. So for now, I'll reset it to 0. And the same goes for the RGB panel. And this color wheel you see, this is the vector scope. So I'll zoom it a bit. So if this is not visible in your window, then you can just right click, vector scope, YUV, parade RGB, and waveform. Click on these three and tick these three. And if it's a bit dark, then go to brightness and click on the brightest. Otherwise, if I do this dimmed, it won't be that much visible. So for now, how to color grade the clip to so that it looks better. So the first part is we color correct. So if the image is looking great or is like looking with the eye, we don't have to use much color correction in this part. First, we'll bring blacks down until the lower darkest part shifts just above the zero. This zero line you can see. We have to bring blacks down until this line touches zero. Yeah. So the moment it touches, we leave the blacks to the point where it's and bring the whites so that the brightest part touches is just touching 100. There's nothing fixed with color grading, guys. You just have to play with the settings. And then we'll use the shadows so that the clip looks more appealing. And then we shift the highlights. So for white balance, there's a trick that Adobe made it easier for the editors. Use this pen drop tool and move it on the brightest part of the image, the white part. You see this the bright part, and then it auto corrects the temperature and the tint. So if you are not satisfied with the temperature part, we can just do it manually, bit more, not much, somewhere around 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. So yeah. Now if you want the colors to look more bright and more eye catchy, then you can just play with the saturation part. Like you want the blues to look more blue, the oranges to look more orangish. So now we have changed the saturation. This is the basic correction. Now in the creative part, there are many looks in this creative part. There are the presets by the Adobe Premiere Pro community itself. Like suppose you want to look make the image look like this, but it's look better. So we won't play with the creative part. So now the curves. This is the RGB curve. The lower left corner represents the darkest part of the image. The upper right corner of this graph represents the brightest part. And the middle part is midtone, and this is the undertones. Midtone is the part between the brightest and the darkest part of the image. So we see that the image is a bit brighter, so we have to drag the midtones to a bit down intensity. You have to decrease the intensity of the midtones. So with this graph, we move it a bit to the negative direction. And for the undertones too, we click between the mid-tone and the darkest part, and we move it a bit down too. Now we change the vignette. Vignette is the black boundary type you see in some movies, like this. With the amount, you can change the amount of the vignette that is visible on the screen, and you can change the midpoint. Suppose I increase the midpoint to 100, then it won't be visible. And the 0 is the lowest option one can get. So we'll keep it around somewhere around 25. And with the roundness, you can play with the roundness. Like if you don't want the vignette to be a little bit round or you want it, you can play with that part too. And with the feather, how uniform you want this fade to be. Like if you want this to be more uniform, then you can increase the feather, or if you don't want it, you can decrease it. As I've increased it, it's a bit more uniform, and with this, it's just sudden. So we don't want that. We'll decrease the uniformity a bit, increase it, and then this is the final that color grading we have done. So now we'll see the before and the after part. This is how the clip looked before, and this is how it looks now. There's a difference. Now we'll play and see. As you can see, there's an, another transition. So for that, we have to drag it to a bit back. Or if that's a problem, we can just drag it above that clip or below. We'll drag this clip above and this below. Still then it doesn't look nice. We'll use the Control Z and deal with this later. As you can see, as the flag is moving, this Lumetri scopes is also moving, the graph. So after this clip ends, want to do another transition, or we'll just fade into. I'll just show you some color correction on another clip. I'll go back to the effects, control panel, and then I'll drag the boat clip, clip number 6, onto the project. I'll remove the audio part by unlinking the video and audio, selecting the audio, and then pressing the delete option. So during the movies, they can't color correct every movie. So they try to find similar clips with similar properties and then copy paste the attributes of the previous clip onto the next clip. So for that, suppose this Indian flag clip, we have color graded it. So we copy it and then select. You don't have to paste, just right click and then there will be a paste attribute option. We'll just see if the color grading on the previous clip works on this one. We'll paste attributes and select Lumetri color and then OK. Yeah, it works well. So we paste that. Or you can just select this clip 6, go to creative and change the look if you want. It doesn't look that nice. So this is the best. For seeing the changes, we can just toggle the effect back and on and off. This is the off and this is the on. So it looks nice. So now I'll tell you how to overlay a clip above another clip. So for that, we'll go to the import media option. We'll just increase the height of the timeline window. We'll unlink the video and the audio. Delete the audio. Now we are free of it. We'll paste the color grading attributes in here too. We'll copy. We'll select the second clip, and then we'll paste the attributes. Enter. You can see the difference. This is the before and this is the after. This part gives it a bit more cinematic look. But now here would be a tabla clip. We don't want the audio. We unlink, we delete the audio, and then we'll put it above it, the old man clip. We'll drag the old man clip so as to match with the tabla clips time frames, but we want it to be above this clip, like in an overlay option I showed you earlier. So I'll just go to effects. I'll decrease the opacity so that only the tablas are visible. I'll just use the masking option. I'll mask the tabla out and only that part will be visible. So for that, we'll change the zoom level to the 25%. Under the effects control in opacity, there will be a pen tool. We'll click on that and then we'll draw roughly around the hand part. So as you can see, now we'll increase the mask feather so that it's not a sudden change, and we'll decrease the opacity. And basically we'll decrease the size of the tabla clip a bit. We'll under the scale, we'll drag the scale to a 90 or 95, around that, or we'll keep it at 100. Now we'll take the zoom level to fit, and now we'll see the clip.
है
Still the transition is sudden, so we'll go under video transitions, under dissolve in effects, and cross dissolve. It smooths fairly. So now the transition is smooth. Now we'll move to the clip 9. This is the zoom part. We'll unlink the audio again. We'll delete it. And then now we'll work with the clip only. Now in this
मेरी
clip,
जमी
I'll
अफसोस
explain you the speed ramping part. Speed ramping is the process in which the speed of the clip changes as the clip progresses. For that, we would need two clips, both of our clips. And now we'll drag clip 10 to. We'll unlink the clips, the audio and video part, delete the audio, and then keep them side by side. So for the speed ramping part, just right click on both the, first of all zoom in, for because for speed ramping we have to work on zoomed in clips. We have clipped both of the clips side by side. Right click on both, and there will be an option for nest subsequence one. Yes, the software will automatically give it a name, nest, and the second clip too, nest subsequence 2. So for that, for time remapping, we want the clip to be a bit slow at first, and then it increases the pace. So for that, in the upper right corner, we'll right click, time remapping, and then speed. We'll do this with the second clip too, time remapping and speed. So till the part we want to make the clip a bit slow, we'll take the current time indicator, this blue pin, and keep it on that. Select the first clip, and then, if I don't know if you can see my cursor, because Adobe, I just drag it, increase it a bit. I just hold my mouse and it increases the clip.
मेरी ज़मीं अफसोस नहीं
I have to click on the keyframe part for that, and then increase the percentage. You can see down there, 2000, around 1000 part, or somewhere around 700, 800. We have to see that before.
मेरी ज़मीं अफसोस नहीं जो तेरे
Now you can see first this clip is a bit slow,
मेरी ज़मीं
then it
अफसोस
transitions.
नहीं जो तेरे लिए
Now we do the same with the second clip. We drag it just after the first clip, and we don't want this logo. So for that thing, we select this under effects control, which change the scale and the position of the clip. Decrease the X coordinate, increase the Y, and increase the scale around 120 or something. Yeah.
लिए सौ दर्द सहे महफूज रहे तेरी आन सदा चाहे जान मेरी ये रहे
For that part, I want the second clip to be a bit fast at first and then slow down. So for that, wherever I want the transition to occur, I'll tackle the current time indicator there. Click on add and remove keyframe at the speed in front of the speed, and then drag it up, this part up. Move it around to the same 700 or maybe more because the clip was a bit slow at first. 1200, and now we cut the clip from the end. Now we see the
है
transition.
मेरी ज़मीं अफसोस नहीं जो तेरे लिए सौ दर्द सहे तेरे लिए सौ दर्द सहे, महफूज रहे तेरी आन सदा, चाहे जान मेरी ये रहे ना रहे.
Now, as the project is about to end, I'll I have to phase out the audio too. So under the audio transitions, we go to crossfade and then select constant power and then drag it to the end of the audio. Zoom it. The constant power fades out the part. The
चाहे
audio
जान मेरी
loudness.
ये रहे ना रहे.
Yeah, so now our clip is done. Now we'll see if we want to make any changes from the start. Yeah, we want to transition here. It's sudden. So for that, the dip to black transition we applied to other clips before. We'll apply this to the same two clips. We'll go under video transition. Under dissolve, select dip to black and then apply on this. And then change the transition time. Increase it a bit. Now we'll see if it works good.
तलवारों पे सरवार दिए, अंगारों में जिस्म जलाया है, अब जाके कहीं हमने सर पे ये केसरी रंग सजाया है. है मेरी जमी अफसोस नहीं, जो तेरे लिए सौ दर्द सहे, महफूज रहे तेरी आन सदा, चाहे जान मेरी ये रहे ना रहे.
So yeah, we are done with the editing part. Go to the file and then go to export. Then go to media. Under the format, select H.264 and the setting preset match source high bitrate and the output name you can give whatever you want. Intro to PP and I'll save it on desktop and save. So leave rest of the settings and make sure that the source range is sequence in and out, not the entire sequence, sequence in and out. And here is the estimated file size, approx 94 MB, and then click on export. After that, your clip will now export, and after that, it's done. It will be exported in the .mp4 format.